are any plans underway, to get Indian artifacts and have them added to Louvre Abu Dhabi?
India is key to us, absolutely. But we already have many Indian artworks within the galleries, and we are very proud of that. And so we have some Indian artworks that we own as part of the collection of Louvre Abu Dhabi. We have this incredible Raza at the end of the parcours, which is the Indian modernity, dialoguing with the modernity of the world. We also have artworks on loan from the French museums and so on. And India is a very key partner, so we know quite well the Ministry of Culture. We have regular discussion. I'm actually going quite often from Delhi to Kochi to Bangalore to Mumbai to meet with the colleagues and to have exchanges. We had many talks and many relationships. I'm actually really looking forward to having the first exchange of artworks and welcome ambassador object from India to do project together.
Joining us today on Zee Business is Sir Manuel, and he is the director of Louvre Abu Dhabi. There were so many interesting insights that you gave into how Louvre Abu Dhabi sort of came into being, and the thought process that's gone into it. Now, when we talk about India, there's so many Indians in Abu Dhabi. Definitely, yes.
Definitely.
And are any plans underway, to get Indian artifacts and have them added to Louvre Abu Dhabi? Because if most of the visitors are from Asia, and India remains, one of the biggest countries, so would steps also be undertaken to sort of have more cultural ties with India and have the culture?
India is key to us, absolutely. But we already have many Indian artworks within the galleries, and we are very proud of that. And so we have some Indian artworks that we own as part of the collection of Louvre Abu Dhabi. We have this incredible Raza at the end of the parcours, which is the Indian modernity, dialoguing with the modernity of the world. We also have artworks on loan from the French museums and so on. And India is a very key partner, so we know quite well the Ministry of Culture. We have regular discussion. I'm actually going quite often from Delhi to Kochi to Bangalore to Mumbai to meet with the colleagues and to have exchanges. We had many talks and many relationships. I'm actually really looking forward to having the first exchange of artworks and welcome ambassador object from India to do project together. So the maturity and the discussion is really there. That's on the narrative story. I have this book, which is the Bollywood Superstar, which was a very, very fine exhibition that we've done, which was exploring the very, very rich root of the storytelling in India before cinema. From the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and how the extremely developed storytelling was transformed into images, and then in a way in what we call Bollywood, which is of course bigger than Bollywood, which is the full Indian cinema. So this exhibition was made in Louvre Abu Dhabi for our audience, and then it moved to Paris, and Brony produced it and took it to explain to the people in the West what the beauty of Bollywood. Bollywood used as the way to coin actually the entire Indian cinema in its diversity.
So do we see this coming back again?
Not this one because it was done, but definitely it's we're interested by high art, we're interested by the pop culture, we're interested by many we're interested by the diversity of India. We're showing we have a beautiful giant statue in the collection, which is another way for us to explain the diversity of India, to show that Hinduism is very well known, and I was talking about the dancing Shiva that we have, but it's also important for the people from the world. I mean, for you in India it may be obvious, but but for the rest of the world to understand the diversity and the many beliefs that are enriching the culture of the subcontinent. So having a Gina is a way to also open doors. Right. You can learn a lot about that. So through artworks, through exhibitions, through stories, through research, through institutional relationship, we have this dialogue with India, and I want definitely with all our friends that we have, I want to get even further. And I will say, and you mentioned it, the first thing is the visitors.
Yes.
Since the opening of the museum, the Indian visitors have always been in one of the top 3, depending on the moment, first 1, 2, 3, but always in the top 3, almost never under 10% of our visitation, and with something that will be of interest for your audience is it's a mix. It's Indian living in the UAE, it's Indian traveling from India or from the diaspora visiting and passing, and it's also a mix. So going to Louvre Abu Dhabi is actually something that family meeting again or friend meeting again in the UAE, between the people who live here and people who are visiting, they will go to the museum together as a social practice that you do. Yes. So all of this we know because we observe this very important segment, and we're very pleased with that.
Right, so that was about India. I also wanted to understand how is this establishment of Louvre Abu Dhabi also leaving an impact on the cultural landscape of UAE, of Abu Dhabi, Middle East at large.
UAE, and specifically if you zoom, we are in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi, maybe it's worth telling it again, it's one of the 7 Emirates of the country, but it is also the capital city of the country. And it's, as such, all eyes are on Saadiyat Island. So we are on Saadiyat Island, and what you can see here, the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi, the Zion National Museum, the Natural History Museum, the Timlan Phenomena, so 4 big international standard museums that will come very soon. And they will, one will tell the story of the land, one will tell the story of the global south, one will tell the story of science and life, one will tell the story of curiosity and digital immersive dreams. So you will be able to come to Abu Dhabi and to experience, here you will tell the connected history of the world, and you will be able to discover so much wonders. So this sequence, Louvre Abu Dhabi opened in 2017. I wouldn't be too pretentious at thinking we are alone. We are part of a dynamic. So we have been one very important step in this enriching the proposition, the cultural, educative, curatorial proposition of Abu Dhabi. So the Louvre Abu Dhabi is one of the anchor in this very dynamic element. It's a proof of concept. It's a universal museum, and it's also, maybe within the full story, it's one of the steps towards a positive globalization. The Louvre in Paris is not the museum of the French culture. It is a certain way for a country to present its relationship to the world. Right. And for Abu Dhabi, the Emirati identity is everywhere. You see artworks everywhere. But it is not the museum of the Emirati identity. This is going to be the Zion National Museum. But it is one way for the Emirati people to tell the story of the world from here. And this is very important because this enables a very positive relationship with globalization, knowing who you are, welcoming the other, and expanding globally. This kind of elements are very important in a globalization that can be sometimes a little complex to understand for each identity.
And I also want to ask you, how are you planning to use technology as well as immersive exhibits, into making the experience more impactful for the visitors?
So we have been innovative since day one. So techno is really embedded in what we do. The building itself is a little jewel of high tech. I mean, not in the immersive way, but in to control the climate, to control the security. We have beautiful, fantastic technology-driven architecture. But in terms of storytelling, what is very important is we believe in artworks, in the materiality of artwork. So the objects that we are showing are authentic relics, artworks, authentic objects, books, paintings, statues. So we believe in this importance of the real thing. So the techno, and especially immersive strategy, VR, AR, and so on, are used, and we know they're very well, but they're always used in a way to amplify, not in between, not in media res, not to block the way you look at the artwork, but to offer the possibility to have a different gaze, to look from there, to learn a little bit more, to connect more. And this is something that we have done with quite success. I will give you two examples. In the Children's Museum, we built games, but the kids and the educators and the family, you win the games only if you look at the artwork. Yes. So it's not a new game addictive. It's a way to organize your gaze to the artwork. That's one. And second one, we have. Sorry, my phone is ringing, but actually it's quite interesting. Part of the technology of, you remember before we had a very heavy headset and audio guide and so on. We managed to embark everything in an app, which is in a way your personal usher to the museum. And we managed to put so much content, and really, so we have a scan, so art scan. You just put your phone, the phone is reading the artworks, giving you in your language the info you want on it. We know that some people, they want to know more. We know that some people, they want to listen to music. So we curated with Anrami playlist, which is average, so you can listen to music which is on the thematic of the Universal Museum. And you just wonder, you have people who want to have storytelling, a little epic, and so on. So technology is used to enhance your experience as a visitor, not blocking you the view, but opening it.
Yes. My last question: how's Louvre Abu Dhabi sort of opening avenues for a lot of people, who want to work for Louvre Abu Dhabi, and also in terms of income that's being generated? Because see, this is also a place that's adding to the economy of the country. So what role does it play when it comes to generating income?
I think it's first, to be clear, it's an investment.
Yes,
it's a real investment for the country, for the Emirate, because it's a substantial cost, infrastructure cost. And I think this is the beauty of the vision of the leadership of Abu Dhabi, is to make this investment in infrastructure, because this investment is actually a game changer. So this investment is there is a payback which is immediate, which is the economy which is generated, tourism, restaurant, activity, jobs, and so on. And there is a long-term payback, which is investment in the education and on all the positive, hard to measure but obvious transformative effect of this kind of investment. So for us, we know that our mission is to participate to the diversification of the economy. It's to strengthen the attractivity of the city. It's to strengthen the curriculum, the education process in the Emirate and in the UAE. So we know that if we talk, we're generating positive externalities at every step of what we do. And in terms of jobs itself, the museum is, by definition, is an Emirati museum. So we are crafting by giving the opportunities and a new generation of Emirati museum specialists. But we're also getting people from all over the world, which is also good for the Emirati, because there is. So basically, the museum in itself is an acceleration platform for professionals of museums and so on. And this is one of the things, I'm sure, with our friends in India, that we know that this kind of exchange and program and can definitely be developed, because we have artwork from all over the world. So this is one of the best places to learn from the success and the mistakes, and to have this kind of dialogue. So we're really looking forward to share that with all our friends. from Kochi to
Yes.
to Mumbai to Delhi.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was really lovely speaking to you, and very strong words coming in from you. Insights that we all wanted when it comes to Louvre Abu Dhabi. All the very best.
Thank you so much.
For
Please come back.
the next ventures. Yes, we're now looking forward to the next trip. I'll be going back home and spreading the word, and this is definitely one place that will top the list.
Absolutely. Keep this. You will win. You tell me what you think about it.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you so much.